Time for the business news now. Stephen Carroll is with us. Stephen, we're going to start with a new report on the dangers of artificial intelligence.
A group of international experts has warned the technology is ripe for exploitation. They've published a report more than 100 pages long detailing how the rapidly developing domains of artificial intelligence and machine learning present new risks along with opportunities. The research focuses on dangers from technology that is already available or will be in the next 5 years. The risks include digital security, physical security and political security. Among the threats outlined include the use of artificial intelligence to control drones or self-driving cars. Facial recognition software could be used to determine targets for automated weapons. And they also highlight that online bots could be used to a greater extent for political manipulation by replicating speech or images of real people. Lots to digest in that report, Eve.
Indeed, I'm quite technophobic already, but that sounds quite alarming to me. Let's turn to Venezuela, though, which has launched its own version of Bitcoin.
It's called a petro, and it's a cryptocurrency backed by the country's vast oil reserves. It'll be accepted as payment for taxes, fees and public services. The launch is being heralded by President Nicolas Maduro as a big solution to the country's economic woes, which include inflation forecast at a whopping 13,000% this year. But critics say it's a desperate attempt to raise cash. Georgina Robertson has the story.
It's a bid to ease the worst of Venezuela's economic crisis. A slide in oil prices and a dip in oil production have contributed to massive foreign debt. Inflation is at 13,000%, leaving people struggling with poverty. President Maduro pitched himself as Superman at the launch of the petro. He says it's not just a cryptocurrency, but kryptonite.
The petro reinforces our independence and economic sovereignty and will allow us to fight against the greed of the foreign powers that try to suffocate the Venezuelan families to seize our oil.
There are two key goals to the petro. Firstly, to lift the pressure of inflation. This cryptocurrency claims to be tied to oil, each petro being guaranteed by a barrel rather than the central bank. The beleaguered bolivar stands at 235,000 to the dollar. The hope is that the petro will hold a more stable value of $60 to the petro. But analysts are doubtful.
El bolívar está respaldado por toda la economía venezolana, en teoría.
The bolivar is backed by the whole Venezuelan economy, in theory. And no one has faith in the bolivar because nobody believes in the issuer. And no one believes in the issuer because the behaviour and politics that have come from this issuer create mistrust. So I could transfer that mistrust or lack of trust easily to the petro because it's the same issuer.
The second goal of Caracas' cryptocurrency, to sidestep US sanctions against the country. But the US has been quick to announce that investing in the petro still infringes sanctions.
Let's take a look at what's happening on the markets for you next. Here in Europe, shares starting the day in the red. Lloyds Bank and Glencore up, though, after their latest results. Glencore, the mining giant, their profits jumping, and that's helping their share price as well. Accor Hotels shares, though, down 1% in Paris after their latest results, despite beating expectations. Over in Asia, things still a little quiet. Mainland Chinese markets are closed until tomorrow for the New Year holiday. Hong Kong's Hang Seng, though, seeing gains of almost 2%. The energy and IT sectors leading gains there. Let's take a quick look at some more of the day's business headlines. A German court will decide later whether cities can ban diesel cars from their streets. Local authorities in Stuttgart and Dusseldorf have tried to get tough on vehicle emissions by excluding cars that don't conform to certain emission standards. But it's been challenged by two states, with a federal court in Leipzig set to rule later this Thursday. Pre-tax profits at the British bank Lloyds jumped by 24% last year. 2017 saw the lender return fully to private ownership after being bailed out by the UK government during the financial crisis 10 years ago. The bank also announced a share buyback worth more than €8 billion.
Finally from you, Stephen, for now, there is a new project from the boss of Amazon that's caused some amusement online.
It's called a 10,000-year clock. It's a thermal-powered time machine being built inside a mountain in a remote part of Texas. That's not the amusing part, though. It's 150 metres tall. The idea is that it'll last for 10,000 years, counting the years down. Mr. Bezos published a video of its construction on his Twitter page. You can see it on your screens now. Lots of positive reaction to this feat of engineering, but also others online wondering that perhaps if it puts Jeff Bezos into the category of supervillain. The journalist Philip Michaels, one of those drawing parallels. If you think about it, he's very rich. He owns a major media outlet. He has a space programme. He has a distinctive laugh. He's bald. And now he's building a giant clock inside a mountain. So some people are just saying the information's all there. You just need to tie it together.
Some people have absolutely incredible imaginations. Like, who thinks up, I know what I'll do now. I'll build a clock in a mountain. There you have it. Stephen Carroll with the Business Update. Thanks indeed for that.